It's Tuesday morning and it's my day off. I'm so tired today, don't really want to do anything, but got people in my house that I gotta take care of, fun stuff. Alright, so today's gonna be kind of a preparation day. Currently driving to my grandmother's house to go help her out with making sure she's safe. I am in Florida, so I am in one of the areas that are going to be affected by the hurricane if it comes through. So I know I'm going to be fine at my place. I'm going around helping other people, so why don't you guys come along, see what we can do to help others out. I just got the guys who were staying at my place overnight. They went home. We're all trying to go back to our families, get everything situated. So let's have some fun. See how packed it is everywhere. Everyone's trying to get water, food, gas, everything like that. Look at this, just lines to the BJ's, Costco. Everyone's stocking up. Heck, they're even going to Lowe's. Look at that. It is packed.
After all that we've been through, I think it's fair from me to you. Watch it burn as we soar away. Hey. After all is said and done, and I know I am the one I have way.
Alright, so it's hot as balls outside. Just now arriving to my grandmother's house. Running a little late getting here. I have a few stops I need to take care of, but I'm gonna make sure grandma's okay, and might actually ask her a few questions and maybe see if we can get it on video, see obviously, you know, how someone who's been in a couple of hurricanes preps for a hurricane, especially if we haven't been hit one in over 35 years. So let me get into it. Let me talk to her for a little bit, see if she would want to do something on camera. I'm not promising anything, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Alright, so storm's not here, obviously, yet. It's only Tuesday. Helping grandmother get some things done around the house, get her prepped, as you see over there. So, trying to get her set, and she's calling for me. Oop. So, like I promised, I was going to get some information from my grandmother, and whatnot. I told you I'd be asking some questions. This is other known as Dr. Rosemary Ryan, my wonderful grandmother. So, Nana, As being a previous survivor from Hurricane Andrew, what do you suggest for people right now in the state of Florida?
Well, if you're in South Florida, you need to be getting ready very seriously now. You need to have your water, your gasoline, etc. ready. You need to know what you're going to do. If you're in an evacuation plan zone, then you need to plan to get out when they say get out. And what that basically means is you need to take whatever clothes you can carry, whatever medications you might need. If you have pets, you need to find a place that's going to let you bring that pet and bring any and all supplies you and your pet need. Realize that you should also bring a couple of days worth of water and food for you and your family, because the shelter may not have any of that provision for you. So bring what you can to make you comfortable for 2, 3, 4 days, however many days that you may be in there. If you're not in an evacuation zone, realize that depending upon what gets hit and how it's hit, the water may be shut off. If the water is shut off, there will not be any water coming to your house. That means not only for drinking, washing your face, flushing toilet, rinsing clothes, etc. You need to have sufficient water for that. So purchase the bottled water or start collecting bottled waters in sterile containers for you to consume for cooking and for drinking. And then have buckets, 5-gallon buckets if you've got them, and place them beside the toilet so that you can put water in the toilet to flush them. Okay, so that's one thing that we needed. We had no water actually for 4 to 6 weeks in Miami, South Florida after Andrew. So if the water supply goes down, you may be without it for weeks. Electricity, if you don't have a generator, you probably don't have any luck in buying one today. But be prepared for not having any power. That means don't go buying refrigerated foods for you and your family to survive on, because you may not have a refrigerator. So you want to buy foods that do not require refrigeration. Canned goods, cereals, things that you can prepare with the little bit of water that you have. If you have a propane stove or grill that has a burner, you want to have that ready and make sure you have the gas for that, because you can boil your water and do your cooking on it. Make sure you have enough medication for 1 to 2 weeks. So if you are with anyone that requires any medication, make sure you have 2 weeks worth of medication. When we're under a state of an emergency, all insurance companies will approve you getting refills now, even though it may be early, because they know that if there is no power, none of the stores are going to be able to process any of that, because the computers will all be down. And that brings me to my next thing, cash. Realize that if power goes down, the banks will not be able to give you cash. You will not be able to use credit cards or debit cards, because none of those computers or electricity is going to function. So the only thing that you will have to be able to purchase anything that you may be able to purchase after the storm is going to be cash. So have cash on hand. You're going to need that. I think I hit the main things. Make sure your car is filled with gas. If you do have a generator, I have a generator that I did have an electrician set up do not, if you have a portable generator, do not connect it to your power box unless you're able to disconnect that from your power company, be it FP&L or JEA. Because you will electrocute workers that are trying to fix the electric lines afterwards. So I had an electrician, I can flip a switch and then it shuts off so that I can connect my generator to the electricity in my house, and then I can have electricity in my house through my generator. So then I need to have gasoline for that generator. I do not have a big house one that runs off of propane. I need gasoline for it. So I buy the non-ethanol or ethanol-free gasoline, because that will not go as bad. And the bottom line is yes, I may have 4 or 5 gallon containers out there. If it looks like we're getting hit worse, I will get a couple more so that I know I have at least a week worth of generator use. But the non-ethanol won't go bad, and if I don't need it, I can put it in my car. So there you go. So, and that's the same with water. Water isn't going to go bad. So whatever, if you have those large things that I used to have to bring, if your kids, the big 10-gallon things
the
of
5
water,
to 10 gallon,
that you fill those with water. You don't have to go buying all your water. If you have things to fill with water, fill them with water. Fill your larger pots and pans with water, so you can use that for cooking, washing dishes.
You even suggested like the tubs. Fill the tub.
Definitely fill your tub up, and then wherever you live, if you have outdoor stuff, realize that anything that's outdoors that's less than 150 pounds has the potential to become the projectiles that do the majority of damage in a hurricane. So you need to pick everything up because it's going to fly. What came through our windows, as silly as this sound was, what sacrificed our windows were oranges that were on somebody's tree. I don't know, no one in my neighborhood had an orange tree, but oranges came through our bedroom window. So they were perfect circles, and that then,
like
once the air gets in the house, it's a speeding baseball. It's probably hit it going a couple hundred miles per hour, boom, or more. And so it's little things. So anything that's less than 150 pounds, you pull it inside, stick it in the garage, just bring it all in. Chairs that you may have out there, bring them in. Do not sink them in your pool. That doesn't work. So the other thing to have available for you and whoever you're going to be with, besides your food, paper items, because those will be the hardest things to find. We had to drive from Miami to West Palm Beach that was the first place I could buy a paper plate afterwards.
Yeah.
So, because you want to do that. You don't want to have to wash dishes because water may be at a premium. So paper plates, make sure you have your toiletries, anything disposable you have a lot of trash bags. You're going to put that stuff in it, and anything else that gets trashed in your house. So food, water, gas up whatever you need. If you have a generator, have your gas or whatever for your generator. Have your medications, clothing. Have all your insurance papers ready and accessible, regardless of if you're evacuating, make sure you take them with you. Car insurance, whatever property insurance you have. If you're staying, make sure they are in plastic bags or in a watertight thing, and a little briefcase of something that in the event you must go, you can take it with you. If you think that you may get water in on your floor, even just a little bit, just go around and lift anything that you would like to not have to replace or not lose up. Stick them up in closets of interior rooms so that you can save whatever you can. We were able to save a lot. We lost a lot. Obviously, the 3 bedrooms that came in. It will, so have everything and be prepared that your insurance company is going to take 4 to 8 weeks to get you the first piece of money. It's not going to happen fast. So you need to have enough cash that you can get by and realize that just be as prepared as you can. Don't panic. It may not hit us yet. I mean, we don't know what's going to hit us, be it a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, or 1. If it's a tropical storm or 1, I would tell you don't need to put your shutters up. Have your water, bring things in close to the house, but anything above a category 2, you need to do everything I just said. Because a 3, 4, and 5, they're all significant damage, and trees will come down, windows will go. If anything hits a roof, it's going to go too.
Now, one particular thing that's been on my mind, as someone as me, a 19-year-old, now soon to be, a first-time homeowner, what, even like you just said, with cell phones and everything like that, communication, and then being my age, knowing I'm out on my own now, I don't know, I'm freaking out. What do you suggest as a 19-year-old first-time homeowner, or anyone in their teenage years, or anyone who has not had any type of experience in a hurricane before? What do you suggest? What is the best possible thing we can do?
The first thing is relax and just take stock of what is relevant and important to you. That in the event that you and whatever you can carry, and that's a critical piece of information if you gotta go, what you can carry, what are those items, and get them ready to go. Be it that you get them in suitcases or whatever, enough clothes for you to get by for several days, whatever you want to take with you that's critical. Remember family photos. A lot of people lost all of that during a storm, and those are priceless and unfortunately can't be replaced. So for you, that's what I would say. Have cash on hand, because if you're going to need to buy gasoline, if you can find gasoline, it's going to be probably cash only. So just be prepared for that kind of reality. Have a flashlight, have lighting for wherever you're going to be. If power goes down, even if you have a generator like mine, I have to go out and turn it on. I may be a couple hours before the storm is done enough that I can do that. So you have flashlights or little lanterns in the house, so you have some light to get you by. Yes, you can use candles, but you have to be very careful that you don't then start a fire and die from the fire and not the hurricane.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the big thing. Now, the other is electronics are critical to you guys. If you have a laptop and all that stuff, what you can put in a backpack and a rolling suitcase, go. You can fit a lot in that stuff if you are smart about what you pack. The stupid stuff that you can replace, don't worry about that. It's the stuff that, if everything is gone, what is it that you absolutely
The family
need?
memories and everything like that.
You
Yeah.
absolutely need to be able to recover. You know, insurance papers, car papers, registrations, that kind of thing. You take them so you can prove that you had a car. If you are the other thing, if you are in a home or apartment or whatever, take pictures of everything you have that you have insured. Because one of the things the insurance company is going to ask you, do you have proof that you had this? Now you're all going to be like, are you kidding me? Because that's how I was. I ran around the house before Andrew and even Matthew, and I just did with my phone or whatever, and I took digital pictures of everything, dumped them on my computer, had them on my phone, so that I could prove this is what my house looked like before, this is what it looks like now. So yes, I can prove that I have it, because here's the picture of it.
Definitely.
And those are usually dated photos. So that's an important piece for people to have. The cash, taking photos of what you have insurance on, because they will want proof that you actually had it. Unless you have every sales receipt of everything you ever purchased, which I don't. We all are always throwing everything away. So just be prepared for that kind of stuff.
Now, the only other thing is for people such as me as well, where we are disconnected from our families physically, in a way.
One more thing on the electronics. Realize that if power goes down, if we get hit by a devastating category 4 or 5, during Andrew, cell phones didn't work either.
That was going to be my next question is,
The
what do we do?
towers are going to go down. So you need to realize that you can't say, oh, I got a cell phone. Oh, you may not have access to any of that. Internet may be gone. I mean, so you need to have some plan of how you're going to be able to communicate with people both in the area or even outside the area. There may be splotchy kinds of connections. So you want to get messages to people and say, this is what's happening. If I can't do this, this is what I'll try to do, etc., etc. So have a plan for that. Keep your phone as charged as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can before any power goes out. Because if the power goes out, then you can't recharge your phone again. So realize that it's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a car and it can run, yes, you can charge it to some degree in your car.
Yeah.
But then you're going to run out of gas, and I will tell you, gas will be at a premium if we lose power.
And this brings me to obviously my final question as well. You may know a couple of things about this as well from Hurricane Andrew, definitely down towards the south end of Florida. Water, when it floods. What, for someone like me who's in a second-story apartment, obviously I don't have to worry about it as much, but for the people who are on a beach and for some reason we're not able to evacuate, or areas that, just like in Texas, never thought they would ever get water, and it being rushing water. What do we do in that situation? What do we do when we wake up in the middle of, we come out and the water's already down to your knees?
Well, basically, that's one reason. If you are in the evacuation zones are based on floods. So those are the known flood areas. If you're near the Intercoastal here in Jacksonville area, if you're near the beach, if you're near the river, get out. Just go northwest, because it looks like Georgia may be getting it too. So that's what's going to depend. Hotels are probably semi-booked already.
Oh, a lot of them are. I've already checked.
And I wouldn't be surprised that Georgia and everybody else, people will call in and make reservations. So have a plan to get out. In the event you don't, realize that if you're in an evacuation zone and you don't get out and all of this hits the fan, no one's obliged to come and get you, because you made the choice and they're not going to risk the lives of those first responders. So if you're in an evacuation zone and they evacuate you, get out. Because otherwise realize that you may be alone for a week or more in that water. But in the event that it's waist deep water, the first thing you need to check is that there's not any electric or other debris. And you might care, if you've got access to a radio and listen to what they say. They told people to either get on the roofs or somehow put things out the window so they would know that there's someone in a building. And if you have people that you can call that can get you out because they have high vehicles, then you need to get out of the water, because the water will then become very polluted, and that's the major issue that they're having there as well. But otherwise, stay put. They don't want people just roaming around in the water, because if the manhole covers come up, you can be walking on what you think is the road, but you're going to step into a hole and go down and you're gone. So you don't want to be walking around in that deep water. You want to keep your phone, don't be yipping with all your friends during the storm. You want to save that capability to call for help when you need to call for help, so that you can make that 911 call and let them know that you need out because this is what you have. If you have any handicap conditions and you're in any part of Florida right now, you should be contacting your county's evacuation plan, because they have special centers and they will provide you transportation, but you need to call them now so that they can make arrangements for the buses or whatever that's going to go around and pick up people with their wheelchairs, with whatever. So for those individuals, you want to get out, especially if you need oxygen or anything with an electrical dialysis, any of that, you need to get where you can get at the special equipment that you might need.
So this is definitely something that obviously is not to be taken lightly. We definitely need to be aware of it. One thing, I believe, and obviously you can have an opinion. For someone like me in an apartment, get to know your neighbors really well. Figure out who's underneath you, to the left, right side, everyone. You may not like one neighbor, but guess what? In a situation like this, you need everyone you can count on, because guess what? If there's a neighbor that's out of on vacation and they have a little small dog, knock on the door. Hear if there's a little animal of some sort in there, so you can know. And if they don't answer, try again. Keep trying until someone answers the door. So if if something happens and floods, it's not not trying to be unlawful, but that, trust me, they will probably thank you later once you get their animal out or anything like that. And even then, get to know them, see if they have any health conditions, because if they fall asleep and they're known, for someone like me who's a very heavy sleeper and doesn't wake up to thunder or to anything breaking, you want to make sure you can knock on that door and be able to get them. We're not all rescuers or anything like that, but we all know the basics. Get someone out. They need to make sure they're breathing and make sure everyone's safe.
Yeah. Be prepared and have your own plan. And just listen to what the forecast is. If you're in an evacuation zone and they say evacuate, evacuate. So what you need to be doing now is prepare to do that. Have the bags and whatever ready to go, or at least stacked up with what's going to go in there, and be prepared to go. If you're not, then know what you need to do to get yourself as ready as you can. Don't panic. If you don't have hurricane shutters or whatever, don't panic. You just do what you can do. And there were people that survived Andrew, and the only walls left standing of their home was the interior walls of their bathroom, and the whole family was in the bathroom, but they survived. So you find that interior place that you can be, and be there.
And coming from a tech person who actually learned a lot of tech from my grandmother as well, unplug your computers. Keep all. If anything, a TV can be replaced. A computer hard drive is a second thing. That's very hard to replace. Your memories, if you have any electronic family memories on hard drives or anything like that, put them on very high areas. Put them in the bags. Ziploc bags. Definitely double bag Ziploc bags of hard drives, flash drives. Heck, even your phone. Go ahead. If your phone's not water resistant, which I do want to let everyone know, even though I have my iPhone 7 Plus, the Galaxy Notes, or the Galaxy 7, Note 8, everything like that, they may say they're waterproof. In a situation like this, do not take it lightly. Even if you have life-proof cases, guess what? Water resistance is good enough until it hits the ground and it sits at the bottom of the river. Put it in a bag. And if anything, put that bag somewhere where put it in a purse or something like that.
Backpack.
And make sure, heck, even put it with your wallet, passport, birth certificate.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All those important papers, you need to have them all in a place that you can just, if you got to move, just grab it and go.
You need to be able to get where you go. Guess what? You guys can replace many things. You can replace a computer, and sadly, you can't replace photos. You can't replace a life. And this is
some photos of years past, you can't.
You can't, you can't, but the thing is, when it comes down to it, you can't replace a life. And you need to get what you guess what? I understand If you forgot some identification papers, pack them now. If you forget it, it's not the end of the world. There are programs and things that will go. It's going to be a living nightmare. It will be a living nightmare to try to prove your identity, but still, it's not the end of the road. There's always a hope. As long as you're breathing, living. Get some dry canned foods. Don't worry about getting any cold Pop-Tarts or anything like that. Obviously, sugary things can be very delightful, but in a situation like this, it's either
bread, peanut butter. Peanut butter has a lot of protein in it, unless you're allergic to peanuts, sorry. But peanut butter.
Or gluten-free. Don't make sure you look at the ingredients before you're just buying stuff.
Cold cereals, and if you have enough water, you can get the milk. It's the powdered milk that you can make milk.
Dehydrated milk or something like
that.
So
you can reactivate it. And
even canned milk. Canned milk.
So you can have all that doesn't need refrigeration, and you can take care of having a bowl of cereal, have some fruit, whatever you can, so that you can survive. Buy rice. If you have ability to boil water, you can cook rice. And you can throw anything in rice and make it.
Exactly. And one thing I always suggest as well I actually just suggest this to a friend of mine. He has these big Tupperwares. The big giant boxes, and I told him, you know what you do? Take out whatever you don't need in there. Put some pots, put some canned foods, because that's what his actually seals. It actually has clamps that seals, and it's watertight. He is going to be putting canned foods. He's going to be putting his in, because guess what? When it fills up with water, guess what's going to be floating? That thing right there, because there's going to be air trapped inside of it, and that air, no matter you put pots, cans, anything like that, it can be heavy. When there's a massive amount of water around you, it's going to float. And it is going to, it's definitely a lifesaver when you have canned foods. And don't worry, if for some reason your house gets flooded, if you don't evacuate, help is on its way. It may not come in an hour. It may not come in 2 hours. And it's surprising, they may not even come in 24 hours either. But it's there. You are going to be heard. And you got to give it. I believe when Matthew hit here in Jacksonville, Florida, 3 days it took for the water to completely drain out. And even then, we were still finding people trapped in houses. And you
need to be prepared to be on your own for 3 to 5 days. That's it.
And think about, and just also, you as one person, you got to realize what you can survive on 3 to 5 days. You need to multiply by how many family members are in that home, including pets. Don't neglect your pets.
And all your medications. The medications.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely the critical. And to all the single moms out there, leave the wine at home. Trust me, there'll be more at the end. And to the dads, you can bring the beer if you want to. But, hey, guys got priority. But thank you so much for answering these questions. Definitely going to...
Hopefully I've helped you. Do not panic. Just do what you can do, and what you can't do, you can't. Yeah. So good luck to everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you. So I'm in my home. This is my master bedroom. This is the new condo I'll be getting. Just got back from helping with my grandmother, so I figured we'd do an inspection of the place. Master bedroom. That leads out to the kitchen, dining room area. This is my closet, walk in. Go there later. Go through my hallway. Kitchen, living room area, patio, front door, closet. Bathroom, and leads to the master bedroom, so I can be able to come out. Guest bedroom / office, which will be more or less my office. And it comes with that.
Knows she's in the insurance business, but they can't bind insurance policies right now.
Right.
And the kitchen.
Yeah. She's like, what?
Got my
She's
appliances,
moved to
everything
Florida.
like
She
that.
just moved from Kansas.
Nice place.
and-
Don't you just love it when you get the bills from the bank? It's quite interesting. don't know what I owe this time. Shouldn't know anything. I'm only buying a damn condo. Oh well. So as you see today, just prepping for the hurricane that's coming through. As you can see, you know, my grandmother's very helpful. She really wants to make sure everyone's safe. Now, on the other side, a lot of people are taking this seriously, and a lot of people aren't. And the reason is a lot of people think that it's actually not going to happen. So, you know, a lot of people think it's just going to be a smaller tropical storm. This is something that we should not be playing with. Like I said, we need to make sure we get everything situated. Prep for the worst. That's the best thing you can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end this vlog here. Reason is you can probably see behind me, I've already started doing editing on this vlog. Yeah. So, wish me luck, guys, and see y'all in the next video.
The world upon your shoulders.